It's been a while since we've talked about vaccination rates, in part because it's getting harder and harder to figure out exactly what they're telling us. That's because Omicron is getting better at infecting fully vaccinated people than other variants were, even though the vaccines are still great at stopping you from getting very sick, which is why public health officials are still strongly pushing people to get their booster shots. And as you can see behind me, they are. We're up to about 35% of the population fully vaxxed and boosted, compared to 76% that's just fully vaccinated. Now, that upward slope isn't quite as steep as this one was last March, when the full press was on for people to get fully vaccinated. There's been a little bit of a drop-off there, a drop-off that becomes easier to see when you look at the average of total vaccines given out per day in Connecticut. Look at this, in the orange, the 7-day rolling average. We were averaging about 25,000 a day in early December, but since then there's been a slow decline, now down to under about 10,000 a day since. And while we've seen a drop-off in all types of shots, the enthusiasm for boosters specifically has been waning the most. That's here behind me in orange. This isn't all that surprising because A, they're easily the most common type of COVID shot given out these days, and B, vaccine uptake has historically gone way up when a new variant causes a big spike in cases, but then it tends to come back down to earth afterwards. What is surprising was that for a brief time this month, look right here, there were more people getting their first and second shots than were getting boosters, which brings me to the last graph and maybe a little bit of hope here. If we take that blue line of first and second doses and break that out by dose, you get this behind me right here. The blue is the first and second dose, new first doses. The orange is new second doses. And you can see, after all these months, there's still more people starting their initial vaccination series than are getting their second shots. Granted, it's not a lot of people and the numbers are declining, but there's still at least as many people deciding to start protecting themselves now as there were back in October before the Omicron variant came along. So the progress continues. I'm Tim Lammers, Fox 61 News.